Hi everybody, how are you doing? Thank you for coming back to Hart Talks. So today I feel kind of overwhelmed and honoured to be standing in Acorn House in London, where the UK AIDS Memorial Quilt is being shown. Now this is the first time it's been shown for over 25 years in full, and I was volunteering last week and they've allowed me to come in today and take a walk around and take you with me, for those of you that have not been able to come and view the quilt, just to see how wonderful, how emotional, how sad. I felt a lot of different emotions working the last couple of days, ranging from anger to sadness to pride to just shock, and just it felt like tragedy. And it was tragedy, it definitely was a tragedy. The amount of young lives that were lost to HIV and AIDS from 80 onwards. We have treatment now, and as you know, I have HIV and I'm living with it, and it's not stopping me. But this is a reminder of how it all started and how people came together and tried to make a difference. So come on, get some tissues out and come for a walk round with me as we look at the AIDS Memorial Quilt. Hey Siobhan and Clifford, how you doing?
Hi.
Good, thank you. Hi.
Really good.
So Siobhan, Siobhan has been my main contact with me volunteering, but can you guys tell me what is the future for the quilt? Because that's a question that I was asked quite a number of times. First of all, tell me what your connection is with the quilt, both of you.
Sure. So I first came across the quilt in the 1990s when I worked at London Lighthouse, and at that time we held workshops there every week where people could come along and create the panels. So some of the panels that we see here were created in London Lighthouse. So I've had a long knowledge of the quilts.
Long connection with it.
And a long association with it. And it's been a long held hope for me and for the others in the partnership that we might one day be able to show them all together in one place. So this display in itself is a huge achievement for us to be able to do that after all that time and since 1994 when they were last seen together. So it's been amazing actually to be able to do it and to interact with it over the weekend. So being here with the panels and with people has just completely reinforced and confirmed and amplified the importance of it and the meaning of the panels for everybody, and the reason why, even more so than ever, we need to try and make sure we can find them a place where they can be on permanent display so people can do this, so people can come and see them.
And Clifford, what about you? What's your connection?
Yeah, I was actually at the Hyde Park exhibition in 1994 in June, at Quilts of Love. I remember going to see it. I was diagnosed in January 91, so and I was quite ill in 93. So going there at that time, it was really quite emotional, and I remember thinking, I wonder what my friends are going to make for me when I go. But I'm still here. And then I got to know Siobhan through the Quilt Partnership. I was volunteering for George House Trust in Manchester, but then moved back to London and became George House Trust's representative at meetings for the partnership. So I was involved in the launch of the partnership exhibition, a display which we had at St Paul's Cathedral in November 2016, I think it was. And at that time I got to see all the back information behind the quilts, and I managed to get in contact with about 3 or 4 people who made them, and we invited those people along to the launch in 2016, and 3 of them came to the launch for this exhibition.
So that question I asked at the beginning, which for me is kind of been the overall question that quite a number of people asked me last weekend, and just me going around today just kind of cements that idea of why don't we have somewhere that we can keep these on display? What's it down to? Is it down to money? Is it down to space? Is it a compilation of all those things?
I think it probably is. I think it's a lot of different factors. The partnership has always had that as an aim, that at some point we'll be able to secure enough funding to be able to place them with a venue that will keep them and display them and look after them. And that's potentially an existing museum or gallery, or it's potentially something we haven't thought of before that would come forward and do that. So that's our hope. The issue for us and for anyone who tries to do this is how to raise the money to make that possible through grant applications or crowdfunding events or whatever ways we can find. And that's the key, really. I think a first step would be for us to be able to have somebody appointed in one of our organisations whose job it is to develop the future venue, future space for the quilts to be housed. And to do that, we need to get a grant and that kind of thing. So we've been doing that and trying to get that done over the last few years, and we'll continue to do so. But that's probably a first step, because at the moment we're all doing this work as part of our other work, and it's quite hard to be able to give it the time and attention that it so richly deserves. It's difficult. So if we could get a grant to pay for a development post, then that person could be somebody who could help pull it all together and help us find the place where they could be. What's really important for us is that we get them in a place where they can be seen constantly, but that they can also move to other places and be on display in different parts of the UK.
Yeah.
So that's the double aim, really.
Yeah.
And if you think about the size of this building, this display is over 4 floors of this office building. That's a massive space. You know, it'd be ideal to have a big kind of warehousey studio space where we could not necessarily show them all at the same time, but have a space where they could be worked on, they could be conserved, and then they could, you know, we could display some of them throughout the year. They could go on tour as they did in the 90s, I think, from Edinburgh. The regional HIV charity is part of the partnership. They could have some, and in fact they do have some around World AIDS Day, but they could have some for the rest of the year.
Yeah, we need a UK AIDS memorial quilt building, don't we?
We do. Ideally.
Yeah.
We need a very rich benefactor with deep pockets.
I did say that when I was upstairs. I said if I have any rich subscribers that want to help out, then to let us know.
And in a way, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It just takes 1 or 2 people to invest in it, and then we can do the rest. We can bring in the additional grants and the other funding that we can raise through the public. It does just really need someone to help us kick it off, really.
A couple of million, that's fine.
Yeah. And I think also something that I realised is that there's, you know, I know that I was willing, and it's something that was important to me, but I met so many other volunteers over the weekend that were also very willing and very, you know, that the quilts had a special place in their heart for whatever reason. So it is something that's needed, isn't it?
It is, and very doable because of that. People relate to them and love seeing them and love being able to do things with them, and in fact to make new ones. So I mean, that's another important part of it. We've had people in the craft workshops over the weekend creating lovely new creations for people they have lost, possibly some of them being the same people, but possibly not, people who haven't otherwise been remembered. And that's equally important, to make it a whole collection. It's the original panels plus anything that gets created hereafter.
So just to end with, I'm just going to zoom over to Clifford and his t-shirt, the UK AIDS Memorial Quilt t-shirts. So they have been on sale. They were on sale last weekend, and they're going to be on sale this weekend. I understand that they might be available on the website, is that correct?
Yeah, well, they're available by email aidsquiltuk@foodchain.org.uk.
Okay.
We've got a variety of colours. If anybody's interested, send an email to that email address, and we'll let you know. We can send you pictures of the colours and the sizes that we've got. It's a donation of minimum donation of £10, and that will go to the partnership to help us continue our work.
Great. Well, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you allowing me to come here today and get a little private viewing. I was saying to you both, wasn't I, that it was emotional to be here and just have the space and just be able to absorb what the quilts are and what they mean and just the people behind them. So thank you both for allowing me to do that. And if you are interested in a t-shirt, then just send them an email. Okay, guys, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I had to take a break. It was all just getting a bit too much for me. There's so many different emotions that get you when you're here, and I feel very sad, but I feel very proud. I feel proud that people come together and people can show their love and support. And this was the way of showing it, you know, and whether it was a very lavish quilt or whether it was a very simple quilt, it was people's way of grieving, it was people's way of saying goodbye, it was people's way of saying I love you. And I think it's so important that people see this quilt, because we have come so far forward and it's wonderful and amazing, and I'm happy because I'm here. You know, if I'd been diagnosed 10 years, 12 years earlier, then one of these panels might be for me. And that's a hard thing to think, you know. What would somebody say? Would somebody remember me? And so many people weren't remembered. And so many people's families turned against them and disowned them. So this memorial needs to be forever available for people to see, and available for those family members or those loved ones that did make these panels to know that these panels are not just locked away in a box in a store cupboard somewhere, you know, that they are always visible, because it's important to be visible, isn't it? Oh God, this was difficult. It was difficult. It's funny, when I was here doing my volunteering last weekend, I was showing people where to go. I was, you know, making sure people were okay, that kind of thing. So you look at the quilt through one set of eyes, but coming back today, I definitely look at it through a different set of eyes, and just feel the sadness and the impact and the tragedy of so many lives. So many lives. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you, because it's important to me, and I know it's important to a lot of other people. And whether you have HIV or not, that's not what this is about. This is about, we all have ways that we can remember people, whether it's a gravestone or whether it's a memorial or whether it's a bench in a park. These people didn't have that. So this is what remembers them, you know. And I think the thing that's even sadder that is the fact that these are the lucky ones. These are the ones that had a quilt. These are the ones that were remembered. So many were not. So we owe it to them as well to make sure that this has a permanent home one day. If you saw this memorial, please comment down below what you thought. If you have lots of money and you want to give this memorial a home, then let me know as well, because I'll let the organisers at the AIDS Quilt UK know. And thank you for letting me share this with you. It was, I'm trying not to look at the camera so I don't cry. We are so lucky. We are so lucky that we have treatment and that we're not dying unnecessarily. But as COVID has shown us, something was done with COVID straight away. AIDS and HIV is 40 years old, and we still don't have a cure. And names being erased and identities being erased is all just a prime reminder of how much still needs to be done. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go and wipe my face, but thank you. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe, please hit that like button. It's so important. Every time you hit a like, then it means that YouTube recognizes that I'm doing something, and I'm doing something important, I'm doing something necessary. So it's very simple to do. It's just down below. It's just that little thumbs up button. Yeah, but please comment as well, because I would love to know. Insulin pump's making a noise. It's okay, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what your thoughts are on this memorial and this quilt, and maybe you have memories, maybe you're one of those people from the 80s that lost somebody that you love. So thank you. Take care everybody, I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Big love from me.